Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Road to Masters. We're still in the Plat slash Emerald range. I was thinking about it. I'm not sure if we're gonna get to Masters this set, just maybe out of pure games played. But if you do want to see more content about this, I do stream and I try to play on my challenger account. It won't be nearly as instructive as this, but I think I do stream live on Twitch and live on YouTube, whichever platform works best for you. I'm going to be trying to be streaming more regularly, but I do want to get this content out and I do want to be more instructive during this. I think I am not always able to be fully instructive while streaming. There's a lot going on, and also my game is very hard. This one I'm explaining like really key concepts and stuff like that, and I have the extra time because it is a easier game. Here I was actually I had a video idea in mind of how to force a comp, but sometimes the game gives you bilge water, and that's something to consider. Wow, there's two already over there. So I'm a big believer in playing the game. I wonder, my idea was, can I force a comp here? And I think that is definitely possible to just force a comp out of nowhere. And I might be doing it anyways, just to show you guys what's going on. Always good to check the goal, the Ionia and the Void every game. I quite like my Void. I'm gonna do something crazy here, and you're gonna call me crazy. I actually don't know if I can extra sell. I didn't actually see the gold. That's my bad. Oh, we were 2 gold start, so we actually don't need to full open here. Okay, whatever. I want to force a comp here. I have decided that I am playing not dpei style. This is my own style. This is how I learn. I really want to play this comp. What is the comp I want to play? I really badly want to play Vayne. I really want to play Vayne. I was told this is super good. This Vayne comp, it's on dpei's website, tftgameplan.com, and I just really want to force it. It looks so cool. Vayne is my favorite character from this whole set, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna click the unclickable augments, and I think Demacia Forever, it seems like it would be good, but I don't even care about any of these units if we're gonna be honest. So like a good boy, when I'm forcing, I'm just gonna take econ like a good boy. Dang, we have no Demacias in our shop. Oh, that guy double duped Jinx real fast. We have no Demacias in our shop, but the good news is I'm playing my favorite comp. And so I don't think this is how I would encourage people to play, but if you do like playing this way, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense. If you don't have a lot of time to learn these things, being lost streak is something you can play every set. It's a lot easier than win streak. I am totally fine with this. I've had students tell me like, oh, I know you talk about all this stuff about winning rounds, playing strongest board, all this stuff. I think all those things will make you a better player, but sometimes you either aren't in a position to do that. Or maybe more importantly, you just don't have the time to do it. So I think that's what we're gonna do right now, is try to force a comp. Like I said, I just heard of this new great comp here, and I read the guide on how to play it. It looks pretty easy. I have the key thing when you're playing Lost Streak is to get your key items, your most important items on your most important units. And I think for me here, that is definitely going to be Kraken and Gunblade for Kai'Sa. We could think about, for Vayne. We could think about Kai'Sa. Sorry, I jumped ahead. We could think about Kai'Sa and items for her, but I think the more important thing is like, how far away is Kai'Sa? Kai'Sa's pretty far away. Vayne is very close. In fact, I think I might bard roll here. I know I could hold the Demacian units, but I think I'm gonna bard roll for the Demacian units here. It just maybe makes too much sense. I'm gonna add Sona quickly to the planner here. I know she's right there, but I don't really want to spend the gold. Actually, do I? I'm 40 making 50. I think bard is probably worth a lot of gold here. I'm quite keen on it, and I could find a Vayne. 2, 3. Okay, let's still make as much econ as possible here. Picked up all the Demacian units like a good boy, and now we just have to get the very hard thing to get, which is a bow. This person is contesting me. Wowza, this guy's board is crazy good. I don't know if we're going to be able to win. They might be just the dragon, Asol, really fast, but it's okay. I'm playing this style. I'll show you guys this game, even if it's not a quote-unquote tuber. Even if I go 8th, I want to show you guys this, because I want you to be thinking about the right ideas here. You could bard roll, you could not bard roll. I think it's worth it. Basically, I think I'm going to make all my econ intervals anyway, so it's not a big deal. There's 2 bows. Is there one that I should try to deny? The Leona or the Ari? I think Ari is a bit better. Also denies LC Bolivia the possibility of Ionia, but I'm pretty sure, or yeah, Ionia, but I don't think it really matters too much. And this person should definitely be going for bow as well. This lobby is looking incredibly strong. This person's forcing Darius. This person is forcing AD Kai'Sa, so I need to watch out for that. Strong opener, really strong opener, all that good stuff. Oh, Demacia. I'm a simple guy. I see Demacia, I play Demacia. And the most important thing we need to do here, actually above all, is control our streak. You can't always force a win streak. You can't, but lose streak, you arguably can always force it. It's hard in some lobbies. I don't suggest it because I know that when people are playing, I can't lose to that. I know when people are playing really weak boards in your guys' lobbies, it's actually really, really hard to get a weaker board sometimes. So that's why I don't suggest it. I think win streaking is a lot easier if you can develop that habit. But again, we're out here loss streaking. So if you're going to be the loss streak guy, you really just need to control your streak and make sure you're weaker than everyone else in the lobby. If I need to, I will unfortunately have to sell my Jarvan. I don't know if I can really sell Bard, but I will unfortunately have to sell a bunch of units here. Good news, I think they need to keep the Yasuo. Bad news, I don't know for how long they're going to keep all the other ones, because honestly, they could throw away everything else. I am going to wait to scout their board. This is kind of like maybe a secret tech, just trying to wait to scout their board before doing anything. They came and scouted me, and then they're going to go look. But I'm going to make my board as weak as possible here. They're staring at me. I even pre-sell here because I'm a little afraid. They were staring at me a little too hard. I thought they would be fast with their hands and press E on all these things. No problem. They get the streak. I get the streak. It's all good. I will say this lobby is shaping up to be a bit scary. There's 2 loss streakers, one that I couldn't grief, and then 2 win streakers. Obviously, I can't grief them, but that's a Riot Games matchmaking diff. So the gold in this lobby will be very, very high. I think one thing I want to think about is trying to unlock Poppy sooner rather than later. And I think, great. I can do that right now. I'm power forcing my comp. I don't need to scout if I'm contested. Well, it's okay if I'm contested, but I have been scouting around. But kind of regardless, it's okay for me to be contested because I don't care, right? I have admittedly said, like, I just need to play this comp. This is the comp I want to play. And that's the really important thing, right? Is that I'm committed in my actions. Great, I get a lesser dupe. That's got to be really good. Wow, I get a bow. That's also really good. Hopefully we get another good component here. Interesting. So in my head, in my very limited understanding of the comp, I don't think attack speed is very good on Vayne. I think attack speed is good on Vayne rather, but I don't think it's the oh, I didn't put another component on her. That one's my bad. Sorry. I don't think Guinsoo's is that good. For me, let's control my loss streak here again. Sorry. Well, now really, I don't win when they have 3 items slammed. My limited understanding is that Gunblade is really important, and Rageblade is not that good on Vayne. So I'm okay to keep losing here. If I was really wanting to win these rounds, I could slam Rageblade and Steadfast. I could even slam Last Whisper, which would be dpei as well. And I think Last Whisper would actually be completely reasonable, but I also do know that one of Garen's best item is Steadfast Heart. So it's something for me to balance here. We have a lot of different options. The good news for me is that Air Axiom is here. That's why we kind of always wait, just in case. We're not going late game specialist. We're not that rich. And lineup, if you guys have watched my tank video, is not good on Demacia and defenders because I already have so many armor and magic resist, so much armor and magic resist, right? So again, this one is kind of the same thing, and I don't have Sunder. Second Wind is also very enticing, but I think this will allow me to maybe greed my items. Second Wind is very, very enticing, but I need dpei bis at some point, and I need Sunder, and that's what I'm gonna do right here. We got our board oh, excuse me, cooking as well. I think I'm going to slam Steadfast Heart, try to kill some units, and what my idea is that double Kraken and Gunblade are the most important things in this comp. Especially now that I have Shred. After that, I need really good Garen items. Like, my Vayne needs time. I think, above all, Vayne needs time. Oh, I better not win. Surely this Vayne unit might be too crazy. No. I'd prefer to lose here, but we shall see. This is what they call a perfect loss. Back where I'm from. They call that a perfect loss. Okay. So now the question is, do I want to roll on 7 or 8? Think about the main thing about our comp. It's a Vayne comp, but it's also a Garen comp. So I think I don't want to roll here. I think there's an argument to rolling if I really need to save my HP, but I'm looking at the boards I'm playing against. I think it's completely reasonable to roll and just try to find a Demacia units, try to find a stable board. We also need to find for a 2-star Demacia, so I think it's fine there. Or if you had the idea that you wanted to go for Garen and Kai'Sa, that's actually completely reasonable as well. For me, I think I am not going to roll. I think Kai'Sa 2, Garen 2 is more important, and I have not yet unlocked Kai'Sa. I'm going for Gunblade on this next carousel, so I will have the actually, I could have leveled here. And then if I leveled here, I could just have the idea that I'm going to streak from these 2 stages onwards, right? And then I could play more towards Kai'Sa, which I think would be, more towards level 7 and more towards rolling there. And I think that would be completely reasonable. So we have 2 options here. I'm going for the greedier one here, but, reevaluating, I think I could have just leveled there and it'd be no problem. Wow, that's a Garen. That sucks. I'd really like that Garen, but alas, we cannot be double rod. Items matter more. I have a bunch of gold and I have a bunch of rerolls available to me. I'm going to use those, right? So yeah, we could get a little Frel cooking here for this board if we happen to find it, but I think it might be a bit hard to find. We're going to unlock Kai'Sa and we're going to have the main carries in my comp. I still do need the 2-star Demacia, so I don't really hate rolling on 7 here, which is why I think I should have leveled actually on this one to be strong here. We have 2 of these. That's, in my head, pretty interesting. I don't know if it's interesting to everyone else, but that is interesting to me. Given that I think I am rolling here, but it can't hit Kai'Sa, I'm a bit annoyed, so I think we just have to stick with our plan. I think this guy is completely playable. Whether or not he's good and playable, I don't know. I think you want to play the exact board a lot of the time, but I don't think it's that bad at the end of the day to have a 2-star Braum if I can't find Garen. I think you should be a bit flexible on your roll down, and Braum actually makes sense as one of the few tanks that work with Vayne. Or work in Demacia, is because there is Warden with this guy. Garen is obviously way better, but again, you can't always live in that world. And in fact, that might not be the world we live in, given our economy and everything like that. This is also what they call a perfect loss. They might call this a win, actually, because Gunblade is a bit too good. The synergy is so high between the two. I'm incentivized to really win this next round. In fact, I feel so incentivized, I'm considering rolling here. Yeah. We have 2 pairs. Instead of rolling, maybe I could just maybe I could just Nico and that's good enough. I don't think I'm going for Vayne 3. I think you could roll here, but I think my bigger concern is that if I really wanted to win here, I could go Bard, but I think I'm okay winning, and I'm also a little okay losing, but prefer not to. Bard is a bit of insurance. If you're really sure that we can win, if it's a Bard diff, and then I can just add Leona onto my board, I think it's totally fine to add, but scouting around, I'm not super worried in any which way. Okay. So I think now we need to think about our balance of frontline and backline. Kai'Sa is really important. Kai'Sa is a really good unit, but we do need frontline items. Vayne needs time, and Vayne right now is going to be our main carry. Let's get rid of this. Wow. Wowza. That is very good. You know what? I'm going to be a good boy and really show you guys how to force. We're just going to get rid of this. Get rid of everything that could be a distraction, a possible distraction for us onto our board. We really need star levels for Galio, so that's why I didn't want to use the lesser dupe and kind of just roll for an upgrade, and then that way I could Nico whatever's left. But I also think this was completely fine as well for the reasons stated before. I kind of want to level here and roll for Galio. Could have just kept the Lux, sorry.
Stand against them. I will lead the charge. Keep faith in yourself.
I'm going to play this, be a little weaker for this stage. So I think a question we should be asking ourselves are, what are our conditions of our comp? And I think we already have Air Axiom, so that's really good. We could have gone Sunfire, but it makes my components really weird. I really want 3-item tank here. And again, if you watch my tanking video, you'll realize that Garen's kind of, some of his best items are these durability items. I know his spell is already durability, but he still really likes these items. Sorry, let me add this. And let me take away this. Vayne is going to go in, Galio is going to go in, Xin Zhao is not going to go in. So we got the Galio unlocked. We just needed enough gold. We didn't need all the gold in the world. We just needed enough gold, right? At the end of the day. I think this one's pretty interesting. We already have Galio unlocked, so Duo Q is not that bad, and we do need items. Mess Hall makes a lot of sense with attack speed carries, and Vayne is kind of like an attack speeds carry. I don't mind more items, but I would need very specific items here. Glass Cannon, if you guys watch my DPS video, we are already 3 long shot. We already have a ton of damage amp. So while this one's not bad, it's still a damage increase. I think Mess Hall makes more sense. Swordsmith is what I'm looking for here, actually. Exactly, in my opinion. Kai'Sa sounds really good onto my board. Okay, we got the whole shebang here. Let's see what else we can roll for here. We had a Garen 2. Is this enough? BT. I should have just 3-item my Vayne, so that's my bad. Whenever possible, you should just 3-item your guy. Shojin Vayne is going to be a lot better than Kai'Sa. I have enough removers as well, so it's... Also, we are AP Kai'Sa, so that can't be good. This also still gives AP. So, I low-rolled my Swordsmith a bit. I think anything would have been fine. Sterix would have been fine, in my opinion, as well. Looks like that's just not the case for what we're going for. I think if I had 2-item Kai'Sa here, it would be totally worth rolling for. But looking at this now, I'm not that keen. I really want to keep my streak. I think Shojin Vayne is going to be a lot stronger here. Wow, we unlocked Rift. That's super unnecessary. I think we want to be strong here. And I don't think we actually are going to use that many removers. So you kind of have to think about your remover economy. Sometimes you make a mistake, like I just did right now. And that sucks. I'm not going to slam the bow here because that will be 2 removers. And while I say I can make 1 mistake, I definitely can't make 2 mistakes, right? Here, I'm going to wait for Kraken and then Shojin my Kai'Sa. She's AP right now because of Arcanist. I think it's totally fine to be Arcanist right now. She has no items, and Shojin is still Shojin on her. But we're going to need to get her some AD items. The good news, and I do mean this sincerely, the really good news about... Kai'Sa is that she's good with both, and also that we can go to Ziggs. I think Ziggs is another great unit we can think about. This person hit Annie too. We're really strong in our board. And look, Annie is a great matchup for us. It's actually a fantastic matchup for us. It's why Vayne is so good, why Vayne is so cool. She has Gunblade in herself. She has armor and magic resist from Demacia, so she can kind of survive the weird splash damage that happens in the game right now, which is Annie, Mel, Silas, all these guys do a lot. And we have single target damage to take down Tibbers too, and Leona too, and all that good stuff. So here, I'm just gonna make my best carry here, and I think my best carry here is Vayne. Double Kraken is True Biss on Vayne. I think Double Kraken Gunblade is actually True Biss on Vayne. That's what we're going for. That's the unit we have as well. If I have 2-star Kai'Sa, I can start thinking about different things. I think red buff might be interesting and stuff like that. But in this case, like, let's look at how much damage my Vayne is doing and how much true damage she's doing as well. We can think about Vayne 3. I think it's, in my opinion, not that big of a deal. I also think Shojin low-key would just go on Galio for now. I don't know if it really makes a diff, but I think with AP Kai'Sa, Shojin doesn't do anything. So, yeah. I think in my guide, I say Vayne 3 doesn't matter. If it comes naturally, I'll take it. I don't really know how natural this will end up being is the thing. I'm going to move my cog 1 to the right here so that my Vayne and my Kai'Sa have spaces to jump to that are the proper corner. In fact, I think I should middle my cog. His effect is like some small amount of shred, so putting him in the middle makes sense to just AoE and shred as much as possible here. Yeah. But as you can see, this Leona, which normally is quite tanky, with gargoyles and all that stuff, just gets completely negated by true damage, and my Garen in none of these fights was even remotely close to dying. I'm in fact going to stay very true to my guide. Hey, dpei said not to go for Vayne 3. That's totally fine. Let's not do that. I think Silas would be cool, but I think Garen is kind of an Omega beast. I think Silas is really cool. I would do this if I had 6 Garens, or like 5 Garens and a billion gold to roll for the next Garen, but I'm really adverse to it. This guy looks really strong. I'm a little afraid. The good news is that they're double econ. I'm double combat kind of, but my combat is a bit dead on Galio. So yeah. I think the other thing we need to think about is unlocking Ziggs here. Ziggs is a Zon unit, so Zon and Yordle will unlock him. I think that's where my next step is, to try to unlock as soon as possible. Yeah. I don't know if he's 3 items, 2 items, but the good news is I'm going to have a remover and then use the Blitzcrank here to help us with that. And I think it'll be important because I'm not actually sure I have Kai'Sa items here. Truly, I'm not really sure. I really want to get rid of this BT. I think this BT is worthless, absolutely worthless. On Galio 2, it might be good, but yeah. And just to show you how serious I am about the Vayne and how little I think of Vayne 3, Riot Games is trying to tell me, and I'm just ignoring them. But I've been ignoring my whole game for a very long time. I feel like from stage 1, 2, and half of 3, I've been ignoring the game very liberally. Here we're gonna try to put 3 items onto my guy. 2 items. Oh, that's all we need. Great. And I can sell my Blitzcrank so I can keep as many removers as possible. So that's really good for me. And I could have obviously done this with Poppy, but then I might have to remove it or sell it or something like that. Even unlock that. Oops, I did not mean to pick that guy up. Sorry about that.
Test my temper. You know, gargoyles and mortals have a lot in common.
I wonder if this guy is even supposed to make the board. I don't really want Arcanist, mostly to make my Kai'Sa go AD here, and then an item is an item, as they say. An item is an item. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do here. BT can go on, in my head, BT can go on a lot of different units. I don't think Rise really goes on this board, though Rise pair is very interesting. We have Demacia, Void, Argon. I think Ziggs is actually going to be better than Rise. I think the Rise is bait here. I don't even have items for Rise, so it doesn't make that much sense. Yeah, it doesn't make that much sense in my head. I'm really surprised we're losing to this. Death's Defiance Darius is kind of a terror, so that makes sense to me. Do we want Swain too? I think it's something we should keep open.
All in good time.
The hero likes me.
What are we rolling for? We're rolling for Swain 2, Galio 2 right now. I think after losing a fight, you could probably very safely just say, hey, I need a bit more cooking on my board. And that's exactly how I feel. I want my Kai'Sa and my Vayne to kind of hit the same side. I wonder if giving her the Air Axiom is a bit better since she spreads it. Now that I think about it, I think this makes more sense. She spreads it whole board, and then my Vayne can roam a little bit more freely here. I wonder if we're ever playing Swain. I think Swain 2 is Swain 2, but Shyvana probably makes a bit more sense with the BT, or Galio makes a bit more sense with the BT. I don't know if Arcanist really helps my board, given that I don't have Ziggs items, and probably aren't going to be that close to Ziggs items for a while. I'm going to get rid of this just to be a greedy boy for Econ. And really just head to the board that I think is, you know, makes sense once you're at level 5. I don't think this is optimal play or anything like that, but again, we haven't been playing really optimally for a while. Speaking of optimal plays or not, I don't think Garen 3 is that important, but Garen 2 and unlocking Silas, I will say, I know to stick to the comp, but I also know that Silas 2 is Silas 2. So part of me wants to sell this and think about re-rolling down in a turn or two. I think I don't want my Jarvan instantly dying. I need him to cast for attack speed for my whole board. We'll see if that's doable. This Jinx is really scary. We still don't have anti-heal, which is terrible against Zon. But hopefully, you know, we got our Trubis is kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe we'll be strong enough. It does not even look like it's even remotely close to the case there. If my Garen casted, maybe it's a bit different, but it looks like it might not be enough here with my suboptimal Kai'Sa items. So your disadvantage of playing these comps from behind is that you don't save your HP. And then if we don't get the right items, it's obviously not that high of a cap. Here, Sterix makes some amount of sense. I think another Gunblade makes some sense. I think we really want a damage item as much as possible. TG Galio also makes a lot of sense here. I think TG Galio makes the most sense. And QSS also makes some amount of sense as well. But TG Galio makes a lot of sense. I know we need a third item for this guy, but yeah. I'm really curious if we should roll for Garen. I see no Garens out. One Garen out. I think we can actually full sell everything here for higher upside here. I'm going to just try it. Great. And I think this...
Fear the void sting.
It's going to sell the Taric. Now I'm not really sure. Now I'm not really sure, to be honest, what to sell. 5 Demacia, a big deal. A lot of, maybe Ziggs is the least useful one. I should check my TG. Looks like Silas could use it. I just kind of looked, and Demacia makes too much sense with my board. I obviously still have Defender, but this gives quite a lot of armor and magic resist to my Garen, who has not a lot of magic resist, so I'd really like to do that. My Kai'Sa is AD still, so it's all good. Adding Arcanist to my board didn't kill me or anything like that. Hopefully this is enough damage, but this Tibbers is Juggernaut Tibbers. It's very strong. I know Vayne is surviving, but it's very, very close. It's very close. And we're actually one Silas or one Galio off it here. So which one is better between Galio and Silas? It's a really interesting question because I think both are incredible. And my answer is Porque no los dos. Why not two? As my Spanish friends might say, why not both? And I think here I'm just gonna put all 3 items on Silas if possible. I know this doesn't make that much sense. I'll fix it later. I think Gunblade maybe wants to go there and IU wants to go there, but I have too many AD items for sure, but at least these are 3 items is all I can say. Is minimally these are 3 items. And I know we lost our backline carry with Kai'Sa, but we gained 2 carries over here with Silas and Sylas and Galio too. So, and in fact, Sylas, even with these weird items, is still doing fine. I think we want to move Gunblade over to him. Shojin is probably fine. BT is probably fine. I think we actually want a third damage item onto him and then put IE, I don't know, somewhere. I'm going to put it somewhere for sure. It's maybe our most dead item here. I'm now looking at this. Maybe Nico actually is the most important unit we can put onto our board. It's Arcanist and Defender here. I kind of like it. I have 4 Defender. I'm not really playing around long shots nearly as much. Ziggs 2 would be great. It would be really great. In fact, I think I am lacking damage, backline damage specifically. Vayne is good, but she's still a 2-star 3 cost. She's nothing crazy. Let's see if we can do a little bit better here. I need to find Nico, right? Nico.
Long live the rebellion!
Anyone got him?
We probably want Rabadons or Void Staff. Which one is a bit better? I think I'm never upset with Void Staff. And do we want to crit or kind of okay with this? And then we'll put IE here. I think we might have to IE. IE Zig seems fine, to be totally honest. Does it not? Maybe we could have. I don't think IE is that good actually. And we get completely run over. Sometimes there are bad matchups, right? And this is why saving HP is really important. I think we go 4th this game or 3rd. This makes total sense to me. We don't have our perfect setup, and this person has a really good setup. We can't seem to kill their front line fast enough or anything like that. This person has a really nasty setup as well. So I think this is a great 3rd, but hopefully you guys see saving HP is really important. And I did say in my guide, this isn't a top 1 comp. Like, look at this board. It costs 1,000,000 gold. I think 1,000,000 gold, 1,000,000 gold, 1,000,000. Like, all these units are all very good quality, insane quality. This one, honestly, it's a bad matchup. It's a bad matchup more so than anything. And I don't have ideal items for Sylas, as we saw at the end. So sometimes you can't have perfect items. You don't know you're playing for Sylas. You don't know if you're going to get good items out of Swordsmith or not for your board. But this is what happens when you don't play ideally. You don't exactly know what's going on later on into the game, and you might get outcapped. And I think that's completely fine. This is a great 3rd. These boards are exceptional. There's nothing wrong with losing against better boards than our own, right? At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong to losing a board that costs 30 more gold than us or 40 more gold than us and is playing the quote-unquote meta comp with Annie Tibbers, Juggernaut Tibbers, 4 Juggernaut, Sylas 2, Vhagar 2, Shyvana 2, Swain 2. Like, this board looks really insane, and it's totally fine to lose to these boards at the end of the day. If you're ready to actually start climbing, head over to tftgameplan.com. dpei's Disciples is my monthly coaching membership, and it gives you full access to my daily meta reads, weekly live Q&As, personalized feedback with unlimited spot reviews, and full access to my library of past coaching sessions, all for $15 a month. One-on-one coaching is also available if you want to improve even faster. Links are in the description below. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.